Donald Trump has officially caved, or at least started to cave, when it comes to tariffs on China. This morning, Donald Trump on his Truth Social announced that he wants to potentially reduce Chinese tariffs from 145% to just 80%, cutting them nearly in half. Now, this comes as the United States is facing significant supply chain issues in the works. Right now, we are seeing prices go up on a number of goods that are coming in from China, but also from countries across the globe. Mother's Day flowers are expected to increase in price. The used car market is increasing in price. Egg prices are steadily increasing as well. And all because of the tariffs policy regime. And now, Trump in his Truth Social post suggests reducing tariffs from 145% to just 80%. And in a Truth Social post writes, quote, 80% tariff on China seems right, up to Scott B, referring to Scott Bessent, his Treasury Secretary, who will begin negotiations with China tomorrow in Switzerland. Now, before I continue, a lot of folks have asked how you can support my work, especially in the face of threats of prosecution and arrest from MAGA. As you know, MAGA Republicans on the internet continue to try to call for my arrest. I've gotten thousands of messages calling for my arrest because I share accurate, timely news. I'm never going to back down. Never, never, ever. I will always stand tall. I will always hold truth to power. So if you want to support my work, click the button below, become a paid subscriber to my Substack today, or support me by sending a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas, just my name. In addition, though little is known publicly about where Pope Leo stands on major global issues, his older brother, John Prevost, offered some insight in a new New York Times interview. He said that the new pontiff is ideologically close to Pope Francis, though Pope Leo shares concerns about the current U.S. immigration policy and will not stay silent in the face of injustice, even if he avoids extremes. And that is significant because we have seen MAGA already freak out over prior tweets where Pope Leo in the past has criticized Donald Trump, criticized J.D. Vance, criticized rhetoric coming from this administration and rhetoric coming from the first Trump administration. So we will see how this Pope interacts with this president. Overnight, Donald Trump removed the Librarian of Congress, Dr. Carla Hayden, who made history as both the first Black American and the first woman to hold the position as Librarian of Congress, essentially our nation's librarian. This continues as part of Donald Trump's efforts to purge the executive branch, or really the federal government, of any anti-Trump or any Trump critics. Now, interestingly, there have been just 14 nation's librarians since the early 1800s because it is such an apolitical position. Librarians hold this position for decades at a time. The previous librarian before Dr. Hayden held it for 28 years before their retirement, and Dr. Hayden had been serving since 2016, since the first Trump administration. In addition, after the United States Senate rejected Ed Martin to be the next U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Donald Trump nominated none other than Janine Piro, a Fox News host, as the interim U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. And according to reports, all signs point to him nominating her for a full term as well. She will have to face, obviously, Senate confirmation, so we'll see if she passes that. Apple juice, a classic American staple, is largely imported from countries like China, and it's now caught in the crosshairs of Donald Trump's tariffs policy. And as a result, the supply chain for Apple-based drinks is currently being disrupted, which could lead to higher prices or shortages for U.S. consumers. In West Virginia, coal miners have lost access to free black lung screenings after Trump's budget cuts slashed funding for the NIOSH, the Federal Worker Safety Agency. A longtime miner, Marion Tennant, spoke to CBS News and said that Marion fears a rise in black lung cases, especially among young workers, where former NIOSH scientist Catherine Blackwood expressed anger over the agency shutdown, which eliminated over 200 jobs, including those focused on mine safety and toxic exposure reach. Most Americans disapprove of Donald Trump's approach to higher education. 56%, according to a new AP NORC poll, disapprove of his handling of college-related issues. U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has begun discharging about 1,000 service members who have openly identified as transgender, while giving others who have yet to come forward 30 days to leave the force voluntarily. Hegseth also canceled an upcoming trip to Israel next week ahead of Donald Trump's visit to the region, although no official reason was given for the cancellation. Folks, that's all the news right now. I'll be back this evening with another evening report. So take care. And if you want to support my work and help me stand up to MAGA and those trying to threaten me, become a paid subscriber to my Substack by clicking the button below. And I'll see you this evening.